Hi guys, welcome to the unboxing and full review of this Bmax mini PC Fanless Intel Celeron N3350 processor up to 2.4 GHz with 6GB of DDR4, 64GB of eMMC, Windows 10 Pro mini desktop computer. It has 2.4 and 5 GHz dual Wi-Fi, HDMI, VGA. Supports dual screen display, and it's listed currently on Amazon for only $139.99, which is super cheap, I think. So I mean, of course, this is an Apollo Lake PC, it's not a Gemini Lake, it's not an i3, but I think with 6 GB of RAM it can still work really good as long as we get nice cooling. We'll find out. 64 GB of ROM, yeah, that's not so much, but usually it's not a problem when we just install Windows and a couple of basic things. Of course, it's not suitable for a lot of gaming or so. This is what we get, definitely new. We have to cut here. So let's open the box and see what we get here. Nicely protected, always good. Sometimes they have this on the top. This is definitely a plus when we have this nicely protected to all the sides. What we see here compared to other manufacturers, it's rather slim, and sometimes when it's so slim, then there's a problem with the thermal design. Sometimes they get super hot, they tend to overheat, and then they are throttling down and they get slower. Doesn't have to be, like, we'll find out how good they are. But we have a lot of ports here for this size. We have like a MicroSD card reader, 2 times USB already here. Then we have the Ethernet, HDMI, 2 additional USB power button, then speaker, microphone, and VGA. So that's a lot, actually. I would say it's really a lot. And we have this port to open where we can probably add more storage if we need, like SSD. That's really nice. So let's find out what else we get here. Yeah, that's maybe the wrong side here, but anyway, we have this VGA full size power adapter. Is it worldwide? I think, yeah, 100 to 240 volts. Then this TV mount and some kind of instructions. Yeah, the only really important thing is the SSD upgrade, and you can see that here. There's an I think M2 SSD which you can upgrade here on the side. Definitely not full size HDD which we can mount, but like the M2, that's a good thing. So, and if you are planning to do that, make sure that you can that you're doing that from the beginning, otherwise you'll have to reinstall Windows 10. You can see the configuration: 6 GB RAM, 64 GB eMMC, and that's also the warranty card. Yeah, it's simple, but there is everything what we need. So we are going to set it up and try and see and check with the some kind of benchmark testing, compare it to other computers, see what we can do, like browsing, a little bit of gaming, 3D things, a little bit of office stuff, and so we're going to check almost everything, and of course if we can upgrade or like update the Windows 10 nicely. Yeah, looks really cool here. Would be nice to have like a gaming PC this size. Maybe it's going to be like this in 10 years or so, but not at the moment. But I think as a small office PC or just like a multimedia box for your TV could work definitely really well. So here we are with the setup as intended, ready to start. I have here my new portable monitor, which is also nice. I'm going to make a review also about that. You can find it on my channel, suitable to such a mini PC. I have plugged it in. I have keyboard, wireless mouse, so I'm just going to turn this thing on. Maybe you have to long press. Let's see. Yeah, now we get some power. Yeah, I forgot to power the screen. That's crazy. It's saying no signal. Yeah, so here we are. Don't know what happened, but first of course I forgot to use the power. I mean, the good thing is here I have everything from my PC here powered. There's just one power plugged in here, and the power for the monitor also comes from this PC. So I'm going to set it up like a normal Windows 10. I'm not going to show you all the detailed steps which we need to set up Windows 10. It should be possible for to do that for everyone. That's just a small hint which I really recommend. Don't connect to the wireless or like to the internet at all before Windows 10 is fully set up. Yeah, I have seen this. A lot of people have been recommending that. There's some question later on, maybe that I'm going to show you that. So that's exactly the important situation here, where it asks to connect to the internet, and yeah, just say I don't have internet here, and then there's a second page and we'll just say continue is limited setup. We are not going to connect here. License agreement and so on. So there will be a lot of questions. Then we have to go to give a name and a password and so on. And I'm going to update full PC. Maybe I'm going to show you that really quickly. So I made everything dark. I hope you can see it now a little bit better. It's more or less just the screen here. And what we have to do, of course, we have to connect now. When it's set up, we have now to connect to the Wi-Fi here. Connect and provide the password. Okay, I've connected now at 2.4G and 5G. We can see the 5G has even pretty good reception here, so you don't have to worry about this small housing. Yeah, it has really nice reception. So we have to go to the here down, or just type the Windows key, press the Windows key and type Windows, and then it should come up with Windows Update. Yeah, check for update. I think that's it here, and we have to do all the updates. So that's really important before you do anything, before you do a performance test, before you do everything. I mean, you can install everything during this time, but yeah, here you have to click. That's really important, and it makes all the updates, and it can take hours depending on the internet speed, sometimes 3, 4, 5 hours. Don't be disappointed when you think, yeah, it's super slow or something like that, it's not really working good. Don't send it home because of that. Just wait till it says update, and if it doesn't do anything, just keep rebooting, and go here again and then check for updates till it says it's up to date. So as you can see, the updates are finished. Yeah, it took a couple of hours, definitely. Yeah, I always had to click, or every now and then I had to click again on update, download, reboot, those things. So definitely a couple of reboots were needed, but we are now up to date, and there shouldn't be too much going on in the background. By the way, the PC yeah, got quite warm, and already now when I'm not doing anything, I just rebooted the thing a couple of minutes ago. I don't know what's going on here in the back. There's supposed to be nothing going on in the back, and it's already pretty hot. So definitely without the fan, I think, yeah, the cooling is not the greatest here. I mean, we have a really cheap PC with a nice amount of RAM, but I'm not really positive at the moment. But let's see how this works. So let's start Chrome. So I was giving the browser about 20 seconds or so to load these 7 tabs here, which is, I would say, not too much. This is maybe what average users are having open here. And we can see, yeah, that's a small page here. Then we have the SourceForge, but you can see, yeah, it had to load. Yeah, when it was showing the tab, it was white. Now you can see it has to load everything, and scrolling is a little bit difficult. Then let's go to the user benchmark, which we are going to use also. You can see here a lot of white parts when we are going fast up and down. Cinebench, yeah, I think it's also small page, not so crazy. Then here Microsoft small page actually as well, and yeah, it has to load and load and load. Yeah, also here, yeah, it's not too promising. Yeah, there are small pages here, and it has and it's already struggling. So I'm going to load one large page. So I tried a little bit around with a couple of pages. Here I'm on Chip DE. It's one of the largest computer publications in Germany. When I go up and down, yeah, it has a lot of ads, and so and you can see sometimes it's just showing white. It's not really smooth. Yeah, it has to reload again. I mean, it's just one side. I have nothing open now same time. Yeah, that's not too good. I'm not very happy with that. So let's go a little bit to Google Maps. So here we are in Charleston. That's what I'm always showing here to have comparable values, and you can see even in the 2D it's very slow. Let's go to the 3D. So we are activating satellite. Okay, that's loading here. Okay, it's finished loading. So let's see if we can turn around this thing, zoom in a little bit. Yeah, I've seen faster and slower, but mostly faster. So for me, yeah, the 6 GB of RAM looks nice on the paper, but in real life doesn't help a lot when we have to deal with such a super slow CPU, I think. So I mean, we can do something, but yeah, it's rather difficult here. Can scroll a little bit around and show the area, but yeah, it's really slow, so it's not very convincing here in Google Map 3D. I mean, we are able to turn this thing around when we are close here and not seeing much in the back, but as soon as we see a lot in the back here, yeah, it's struggling heavily. Yeah, and even worse here, Eiffel Tower, yeah, had been needed at least 1 minute or so to just load a little bit of this area here. It's insane, so it's almost impossible to tour around here a little bit. I mean, now it's working, but you can see it's lagging heavily. It's crazy, and in the back there's not even showing the homes and buildings and so on. So crazy. Yeah, here we are at Crazy Games Rebel Forces, and as you can see, yeah, the crazy thing is that we can almost not move. It's impossible to even turn around here, around the corner, see anything. So yeah, that's the crazy stuff here. It's almost impossible to do, and that's the 3D shooter which requires the least performance. So yeah, it's almost impossible to do anything. I mean, we can see the area, that's the only thing, but takes almost hours to aim somewhere. Yeah, it's impossible to play. I mean, I've been playing this with Gemini Lakes. I'm not sure about Apollo Lake. Yeah, I thought 6 GB of RAM should do a nice job, but probably it's totally overheating. I mean, when I touch this surface here, it's crazy hot. Yeah, so no fun, nothing. So I've been playing that with some Gemini Lakes, and it has been fun. Yeah, also with i3, of course, but not with this Apollo Lake, definitely not. So I'm leaving here. It's basically useless. Yeah, I'm not sure if I've been already showing the system information here. We can see the CPU N3350 1.1 gigahertz. You can see then here the RAM 6 gigabytes. Yeah, definitely confirmation. Then storage settings, we can see total 58.2 gigabytes, and we have used 29.6, and 28.6 is free after installing everything. We have Chrome, we have also OpenOffice, we have a couple of tools, not too much, but I mean usually you should be able to work with that. I've been checking for to free some space. Even in the system settings, yeah, maybe you can free from this 1 gigabyte, but there's not more. So you have to deal with remaining 28, 29 gigabytes and below 10 gigabytes. Usually PCs are starting to struggling. So yeah, there's not much left, but of course you can add some storage here. That's the thing which you would need to do, but I don't see this as a desktop PC anyway. Here's some streaming, 1080p streaming from YouTube. So I would say, yeah, no problem, at least with 1080p. I don't have a 4K sample. I don't know if there's something around. Maybe I'll try to find something. But here, at least 1080p, which is usually sufficient if you have a TV, want to see something, if you want to use that as a streaming box. So it looks like, yeah, it doesn't have any problem to deal with that. At least that looks really good here. Yeah, so we have here a 4K sample from YouTube. So let's try with that. You can see that here it's 4K. We make it a little bit bigger, and then we are starting with that. Even some nice sound. Yeah, at the beginning a few minor lags, but that's usually the case. I mean, and we do not have excessive power, but I think now it's doing a good job. It's running backwards. I have no clue why. But I have the impression now it's running smooth. Yeah, I can't see any problem. Also waterfall, everything. Let's move a little bit on. Maybe we can see more moving parts here underwater. Yeah, looks weird backward, but at least you can see it's smooth, moving nicely along. So definitely shouldn't be a problem with 4K streaming as long as the internet is good. So let's stop this here. Yeah, also spent a little bit of time on Netflix, watching a little bit, 5-10 minutes or so, and I haven't found any lag, so could be working really nice for Netflix streaming. Definitely no problem. I don't know what resolution they are using. I think there are no settings here, at least I haven't seen that. I'm not using Netflix too much, but it has been working really good. Now let's finish guessing and let the professionals do their work to analyze what this system is capable to do and what not. So I'm running the user benchmark now. Can see some basic 3D testing here. Yeah, I'm not showing you everything. Don't want to waste your time. Okay, testing is finished. We can close the thing here. What does it say? Gaming 0, desktop 0, workstation 0. Yeah, it says missing SSD. I've never seen something like that. Really no clue why. I mean, there is an SSD. Yeah, so let's go a little bit down for the details, as long as we don't have some general description. What does it say? Yeah, the processor says performing below expectations. Can see that here. The graphics card even worse, performing below expectations. Yeah, 1.32 percentage. I mean, yeah, that's the some rating where you are in between, or like compared to similar implementations. Yeah, Intel graphics, maybe that's just the heat. Then memory kit also slow, very poor here. Yeah, we have a poor, we have a terrible, we have a very poor, and the rest has not been tested for whatever reason. I have really no clue why they haven't been able to test the hard disk or SSD. By the way, temperature, what I've been measuring here, we have the current values and we have the maximum. Maximum has been at 78 degrees Celsius. So yeah, I think that's a lot. That's probably the highest what you can get with such CPUs. Yeah, you shouldn't go above, and probably it has been throttling then with this temperature, and that's the reason for this incomplete testings. So I'm starting here the Cinebench R20. Somebody recommended me to do the test as well with this Cinebench here. Let's see what we get. Yeah, so Cinebench release 20 has been finished with a whopping 156 points. You can see the result here in red. We are here. 156 points. The top is around 16,000, or I've seen online 18,000. Yeah, of course, when you spend thousands of dollars and you buy like a 20 core, 30 core, I don't know what's the maximum, I think 28 cores or so, you can spend a fortune on this CPU. So it's probably more like a game for the super rich to find out who has the fastest CPU or so, but it's definitely nothing for mini PCs, and I'll stay away in the future from such things. So the normal user benchmark is much better. Just in this case, it hasn't been able to do anything, especially as a total value. We didn't get any indication, but as single values for CPU, GPU, and the memory, we have seen the results. Yeah, so from my side, I'm pretty much done here. We can see, as a last time, the temperature. I've been running this during all the tests, like a normal user benchmark, Cinebench, and also this 4K streaming, and you can see the highest temperature has been around 77, 78 degrees Celsius, which for normal CPU is not high, but I think for an Apollo Lake it's pretty much at the top range, as high as it can get. And it definitely is super hot here when we touch here, especially in the back. Turn the camera a little bit around, especially here in the back where we do not have a lot of openings here in the front, or like, yeah, it's more the back here. Let's say the back here with these openings here, it does a better cooling job, or maybe there's not so much here, maybe there's just a port, maybe the CPU is in the back, but wouldn't make a lot of sense to have the CPU with the highest heat in the back and no openings, or at least not many openings here. So it's pretty hot. I mean, I still can touch it. It's not like burning me, but maybe it has some negative impact since we can see a lot of times it was around 77, 78 degrees. It's a little bit lower again, of course, after stopping the test. So for me, yeah, I wouldn't use that as an office PC, definitely not, definitely also not as a gaming PC. If you want to use this as a file server, yeah, I'm perfectly fine with that. Also, as a streaming box on your TV, should be capable to do everything: YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, everything else. No problem with that. Installation looks clean. Windows 10 Pro Edition had everything, virus scanner installed, everything also pre-installed. Google Chrome, sometimes we have it, sometimes we don't have it. Yeah, I forgot about the Open Office. Let's check on that, how long it takes to open the Open Office. I had it open already, so yeah, first time you have to give 2 or 3 settings. You can see how long this takes to open. I mean long, it's not super long. It has a few lags, or it had a few lags at the beginning while typing. Now it's perfectly fine. So I think you could do some office work if you really need that, very rare. But if you need a PC for daily office work, a lot of browsing, a lot of emails and so on, that's not the perfect solution. It's very tempting, it's super cheap, and I will definitely put down the link into the description down there, so you can check it out, order it right from you if you like it. For the right stuff, again, a streaming file server, absolutely no problem, but for other stuff I don't see that much usage. So, but I still hope I've been able to help you a little bit with this video. If you have any questions or comments or whatever you have, please write everything down into the feedback area. I'm always happy to talk about these things, and if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.